let's build something together. I have this handle fetch function that I use to process fetch requests. So it'll take an URL, your options argument, and the type of response you want. So if it's JSON, if it's just plain text, or if you want to parse the text and bring it back as a document object, you can do that. Well, right now it just does JSON and text, but we're going to add that new type, as well as we're going to clean up this just mess of if-then statements. What first? So first thing I need to do is create another function, and we're going to call this handle response. Yeah, we'll just call it handle response. And that will take the response and the type that we want back. And here we'll say if type is JSON, return the JSON unless we get an error, and then just return back false. Right? Same thing here, but we'll say if type is equal to text, and here we'll say if type is equal to, say, HTML. We will return text or new DOM parser parse from string text, text HTML, else return false. All right. Now we can go down here and do the rest of this. Here we're saying if res status is greater than 199 but less than 300, meaning it's a type of response that has valid data in it, then we want to return await. Here we go. That's it there. Now, if the response is a 429, so meaning we have been pinging the server too much and they've put us in timeout, we are going to wait 5 minutes, and we're going to wait 5 minutes before we perform. So it's basically going to hang up whatever it is that we made the request from the other function. So here we can say, and I'm changing these to let for scope reasons. Okay. And if that's true, then we just want to run this again, right? So we can put that there. else? All right, here we need to think about what we have. So right now I think I'm going to change this to action. Right now I had it as download, which was the action I wanted it to perform, but I think moving forward we're going to pass it through some types. So some options, I should say. And I think the best way to do that is, well, I'm not sure. Now I'm thinking I want to be able to pass it through as an argument, and that might be more flexible. So it's really an indicator of whether or not I should take action. When we're returning false up here, we're just ignoring it essentially, right? It failed and we don't really know why, but that's okay. We're just going to move on. Here, we know why it failed, right? We know that the status was not what we wanted, and so we probably need to come back to it. Whereas here, it was a failure of the request. Here, it was a failure of the request. Yeah, all of these are failures of the request. Ooh, whoopsie. That was wrong. All those are failures of the request. So the question is, what do we say? I should have thought this through a little bit. So we're going to leave it as that for now. Right now I'm just going to say action stop, I guess, for now, and we'll come back to it. All right, so this errors are really just anything else below 900 or between these ranges. Could be a number of issues that we just are going to attempt the request again. You know what, though? This says I'm not accounting for 403s here, and I've noticed that actually in some of my scripts. So 403 needs to hit as well. So basically, I'm already handling this here. So what I can say is 399. We'll wait 3 seconds, and let's just go ahead and make it 4 seconds. 4.5 seconds. I'm glad I'm looking at this. It's been months since I've really looked at this. And I'm glad because it does not appear that it was perfect. Not that it has to be, but it wasn't even good. Okay. So if the status is of that, then we will do this block. And finally, if the status is above 900, that's like usually you've been logged out, which is why I put this here. And I feel like we can just do the same thing here. Actually, I don't even need that. I can just pull this down. Like so. And this is returning false because the request was bad. And I think that's it. That's a good cleanup. Much better. Let's go ahead and save it for now. And let's use this somewhere. I believe it was here. So let's pull this down. Okay, and we're running our test, and it failed. Oh, I know why it failed. This needs to be dot. Oh, that's not why it failed, but in any case, I needed to fix that. And I bet this is actually going to work this time because, yeah, so this is really weird. It still didn't get, now this time will it get the async token? This time it gets the async token. It's weird. So if you run it 3 times, the third time it gets the token. This is a separate project, so I'm going to be done, but this handle fetch thing is now working, so we're good.